Yeah, it's good, bro. Let's see. We got 2 more questions left. This next question is going to be a little bit. I don't know how you're going to be able to answer this because it hasn't been very long, but we'll try it out. The question is, who do you think is Terry's best and worst matchup?
Okay.
Best and worst. Okay, it is hella early for
That's
that.
what I'm saying. So it's kind of tough, but you can still have an idea if you fought a very polarizing matchup and you're like, you know what? Even if I was good with this character, this is still going to be hell.
Mm-hmm. I can see what you mean.
Well, I mean, it would be easier for me to tell you matchups that I've learned so far to be easier than what it would be like with Ken. I mean, that would be an easier question for me to answer. So, like, what can you reword the? Can you ask the question one more time?
Can I use it in a sentence?
Yes.
The country of origin. Let me see.
So, like,
you're saying like what character or what matchups he covers for Ken, so it's easier if you play Ken to play Terry in the matchup instead. That's what you're trying to get at, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I can tell you right now, Zero Suit is way easier, all because of crack shoot. You can literally on reaction crack shoot flip kick, and it just loses. And you have any idea how satisfying it is to punish flip kick? Because I know there's like the majority of the roster, you could say they've never punished that move. Yeah,
like not without like a god tier read.
Yeah, because I got to do it with Ken's up out of shield to punish that junk. It's so hard to line it up.
And it has iframes and everything, but because of how the arc on crack shoot works, it just covers it so perfectly.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that matchup definitely feels easier. Surprisingly, like, Pikachu actually. I actually feel like Pikachu actually struggles a lot with his buttons in the air, because anytime you see him in the air, again, like, you can play your game, you can set up your zone, and if you ever see him jump, just crack shoot. It just works. You can literally just crack shoot him and then bully him to the ledge. And on top of that, like, if he goes off stage, like, he can edge guard Pikachu with hard reads with like things like burn knuckle off stage. Like, you can actually, like, okay, so I haven't showed this yet.
More hidden tech. Let's go.
Okay, I'll show this real quick. So, because of how Pikachu's quick attack works, where he has to come from an angle, if you just put like light burn knuckle off stage right where you think he has to come from, because if you know his angles, you can burn knuckle him. So, like, if I was to say throw you off, oh, it's cool. So if I was to say throw him off stage, I can do this, jump back and recover. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do burn knuckle, but, like, okay, let me show you again. And you can jump back.
Oh, what? My jump.
Oh, not like this. No.
I messed up. But you see, I know
what you're saying.
Yeah. Like, there's things you can do like that. You can stall with you can stall out there again. Like, there's things you can do to edge guard. Ledge trapping is fairly simple. You don't really have to care about T-Jolt as much. And also, Ken can't say this. You can, if they're like T-Jolt in the ledge and they're looping the lightning bolts down below, you can actually invincibility through them, and it does not gimp you.
Yes.
Is that with the true rising tackle or just regular rising?
Yeah, check it out. So, like, if I do this, you can't hit me because I snapped it. I snapped it with the invincibility. But people are not, like, that's the main thing that people are not doing right now with this character's recovery. They're not good at snapping the ledge with just like spacing the, where it does actually snap.
And they're not using the invincible recovery. Like, they gotta learn to buffer that down and off stage.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, also use the light and the light and heavy forms of it.
Okay, so for me, I used for matchups where with Ken, it was just BS, and like there was a lot of glitches where, like, for example, Ken's down tilt would legit whiff unless I time it perfectly against Link, right? And let me be honest, bro, in a high like pace match, pro level match, I'm not gonna be sitting there trying to remember how to change up my timing for fighting a different character.
You want it to just work. Right?
Yeah, I want it to just work properly. So, but Terry's works properly against Link, and I was like, good. I would use Terry against Link. I would use Terry against Pikachu and Inkling, because those two were really small and it was hard to combo them. But now I can just blow them up in the same fashion and style that Ken did with the aggressive, So I was like, oh, I'm gonna use them for those matches. And personally, for me, I would still use Ken for heavies. I would still use like, I would never drop Ken for heavies. That's free.
Yeah, like Ken heavies matchup is absolutely free. Bowser's like the only one that's debatable.
Yeah, I might use Terry for Bowser, but other than that, I'll use him for the other heavies. I would use Terry for sorties as well, because I feel like I can actually compete with them now that I have like Power Geyser. I have moves that like crack shoot, which is so
F-tilt
fast
as
and
well.
close. Yeah, F tilt is pretty good too. I'm like, yo, that's.
I've had Burn Knuckle just go through Lucina Fair.
Really?
Yeah, because it's invincible in the hand. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, it's a lot of cool things you can pull off with this character against certain matchups. But I still know the ones that I would prefer using Ken on, especially the ones where like, if I want to recover, and a lot of the time like their main tool of kicking me off or killing me off stage is some singular hit move or something. I would probably go Ken, or I'd probably use Ken for people who are edge guarding me in a way where like I can get away with it if I just use more tools that can get me around easier and faster. Because Tatsumaki, Rising Tatsu is still better than a lot of things that Terry has off stage as a mix-up. And same with Focus Attack. That junk eats singular hits, and I'm like, yo, that's so much better. And like on Terry's disadvantage state is not as good as Ken because we have Focus Attack. And let me tell you something, that move is busted. All right, like we get to eat up one attack and move wherever we want, or we can use it as a mobility option. And
yeah, the crazy
mobility options
too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like his mobility options are pretty laggy, so if they read it or know it's coming, they can easily react to it. But that aside, man, yeah, it all just depends on your playstyle and
it always boils down to that, for real.
Yeah,
I'm actually on the opposite end of this. I actually think Terry's disadvantage state's better.
Really? That's crazy. Why is that?
Let me hear. So hear me out. So first off, you're right about Focus Attack, but you also have to remember, Crack Shoot and Burn Knuckles hitboxes are freaking huge and have iframes on some. And because of that, he has several different ways he can mix up his recovery. He can go high, he can go really low, and rise with entire body invincibility. Ken can't say that because a lot of people can abuse the fact that the invincibility runs out at the end of his hand. You can't say that for Terry. So like, and the way Terry snaps ledge is similar to how Ken does. Like, people don't talk about that, but like Ken has the same issue that Terry had, and a lot of people were struggling with at the beginning of the game. But the more they got used to his recovery, the more they started getting used to different ways they can mix it up. Like, it stopped being such an issue. Because I mean, he also has the stall mechanic with Power Wave as well. And you know, you mix that with just, you know, meaty hitboxes and iframes everywhere. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like it's not as bad as a lot of people think. That's just my thing. That's just my take right now.
Yeah, a lot of it might be just because of bias of the fact that the character just came out, and I can openly admit that I know for a fact that it was the same thing with Ken. I had like so many issues with him, like, oh, this blah 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 blah, and now I'm just like, yo, this character's godly. It just takes a minute to sit down and be like, okay, so this is what I can do here, and this is what I can do there. So you got to find your options. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying, that it's kind of a bit too early. To just judge it off and compare it.
The speculation of it is fun, but this character is going to be a long ways from being solved, I think.
Oh yeah, it's only been like day 13 or something like that. I think it's only been 13. Yeah, 13 days. Today's the end of the 13th day, so it's not been long at all.
It's crazy, man. It doesn't even feel like he's been out that long.
Yeah,
it really doesn't.
So we only have one last question, and this is another one of those difficult questions. But even though he's very new, and we've clearly established that, where does he land on the tier list for you guys?
Top
I already know where. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Top tier as shit, and no one can tell me otherwise. If you would look me dead in the face and tell me this character's mid tier, I'm sorry. I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah.
I do not know what to say to you.
People's main objection to that is that he has a bad recovery, but once again, I feel like they're not living in the same world any of us are when it comes to.
You want to know who else had a bad recovery? Smash 4 Cloud.
Yeah.
Look what happened.
Yeah. Look what happened, bro.
Everybody used to tell me Ken's recovery is so linear, right? And then all of a sudden, I come up with all these new like tech. Oh,
wow! I tripped.
You tripped.
I tripped.
Whoa!
I tripped.
Hey,
why did I trip?
You tripped.
Well, yeah, I looked away for literally a second. What did you get tripped by?
Dead ass, dude. I tripped the jab too.
Yo, get pranked, bro.
Oh my god.
That was so weird. Anyways,
yeah.
I'm mad.
Yo, take the L. Straight up.
Oh my god, I feel so outplayed right now.
What was I just saying? Because that was wild. Oh yeah, people are like, it's linear, and like I can't text like, oh, how, or like rising focus to eat up an attack, and then I can cancel into a like a Shoryuken, or using light Shoryuken to snap faster and avoid counters and all that stuff, right? First off, by the way, Terry's counter, Terry's input recovery is actually busted because you can eat through counters if you recover early and just go up high.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, they look stupid. There's a Palu in tournament who tried to counter me off stage, and I just did the input version right next to her, and like I just got to recover free because I have invincibility. I'm like, yo, what? That is so stupid. But yeah, right now for me, I look. I'm not like Ronin, who looks at the grand scheme or the bigger picture, right? But I do admit that it does exist. Right now, I can see him being mid tier the way he's played now because of like a top mid tier because of the way he's played and like his disadvantage in his recovery and whatnot, right? But dude, like when I first played Ken, I was just like, okay, this character's pretty all right, and I was like, eh. For me, I still believe Ken's like top 20, top 10, I mean, top 10, 15.
I think he's top 15 personally.
Yeah, I think top 20, top 15, and people might try to argue with me against that, but I'm just like, I see the light, right?
I was gonna ask you, like kind of on the cusp of that as well. Do you think that a character's placing on a tier list is solely depicted on who is placing well with them? Because,
oh, hell no.
Not even just like who's placing well with them, but like, for example, someone who's, like you were saying, someone who is playing the character at this level at this time might say he's mid-tier, but you've seen the light, therefore he's top tier or bottom of top tier, something like that. And is that just because you feel like you know stuff? Like, if the thing is, the character's not changing, it's just the information that you know versus somebody else. So
yeah,
I feel like even between the three of us, we could probably make a pretty good case for him to become top tier if people aren't, like, if they don't see it for some reason.
Yeah, because like the thing is, like with Ken when he first came out, everybody was like, he's bad, and a lot of the previous Ryu players are like, yeah, well, the big Ryu players are like talking that, and basically everybody believed them, right?
But they had no fundamentals. They were carried.
Like you didn't know anything, right? And I didn't play Ryu in Smash 4, so like I didn't know too much about the character, right? So when I first started, I was
I'm gonna break that shield.
No, I'm backing up.
Bring that ass here. All right, kid, come here. Bring him here.
Yeah, it was like there was all this talk about the character being bad and whatnot, and like all of a sudden I realized, yo, Ken is straight up busted. He has safe, like he has safe tilts that he can literally use to read any situation, and then get something off of it, something explosive off of it. And I'm just like, no other character can really offer that to you. And it's just ridiculous when you're playing him because he has so many options, dude. So much counterplay. Like for example, my friend, he plays Joker, and that's who I get a lot of my practice from. When I first started playing that matchup, I was like, bro, like the counter off stage is bullcrap, right? And I kept dying to it. Yeah. But then I realized, yo, I can recover high. I can do light Shoryuken, so I don't have too much of a hit bigger. So that will get me killed up there, and I'm gonna miss that. Yeah, I'm not gonna have too big of a hitbox that's gonna get me killed up there. All these things are so tiny and little that you wouldn't really even know. And like, for example, Rebel's Guard with Joker. If Joker does Rebel's Guard against Ken, and he's at 80%, he's dead. Because, or 70-80%, honestly, he's dead. Yeah. Because what Ken can do is he can cancel into focus attack and eat up the attack from Rebel's Guard, and Joker's just sitting. You get a level 2 charge off of him and just kill him off from that. So that's tiny things that you find with this character if you really do grind it out. And I believe Terry has stuff to do it. Like for example, people found out these crack shoot loops, and we found out we recently found out like Tatsumaki loops like 3 months ago, and Tatsu loops are busted. All right.
Yeah, I pushed the meta for that hard. And the thing is about Tatsu loops is it's not fully solved either. There's still a lot of gray areas still to be worked on with that.
Exactly. Like there's so many crazy things people can find, like for all this other stuff, like automatic shield break combos and all this other weird stuff, like free pokes and whatnot. Dude, Terry would be mad busted. Like that combo I just did right there to down there into Burning Knuckle. I'm not too good at it yet, but if you angle it and hit them perfectly on shield, you can get a free shield poke by hitting the top of their head, because the down air actually removes the entire, their entire head from the shield.
It's just like 60%.
Yeah,
which is insane.
Yeah, and if they don't tilt their shield up, they can get hit by it. The burning knuckle. So there's a lot of small tech.
I actually just put out a video, and at this point, when this is gonna be posted, it would have been yesterday. And the video is literally just talking about shield breaks using his full hop down air. Because if you land on anybody with a full hop down air and then just go into an up smash, it just breaks the shield. You know, fully charged shield. So it's really good if someone's platform camping you. If they're up on a platform, you can come up to the platform with them with a full hop there and then up smash as soon as you land. If they don't drop their shield, they're getting hit. right? And if they and if they don't drop the shield's broken. Like that's just what's happening.
Yeah.
And
so one last thing before I end it. Like, luckily for Terry, I wish Ken got this love. Like, Terry has so many people watching him and learning things from him and finding things out for him.
Yeah.
So his meta is gonna grow way faster than Ken's did. Ken's took almost an entire year to make this character extremely solid. Like, dude, I'm pretty confident I can win a lot more in tournaments now or place top 3 now because of where, like, how much I've learned with Ken over the year from like watching Ronin stuff and a lot of other people's stuff. And now that Terry's growing mad fast, dude, I don't even he's gonna be ridiculous. He's gonna be found out very fast. Oh yeah, I know that for a fact.
100%.
I can definitely agree with that. The big thing that differentiates their place in the meta is going to be how well like Terry deals with the masses compared to Ken. Like with Ken has clear rules that he has to play within, but but the reason he's still strong in my opinion, still top tier, is that his game plan is so solid. Like, get him to the corner, ledge trap them, or touch their shield. But the thing is, what makes Ken so broken is what he can do when he touches shield. So I'm about to go a lot deeper than most people does whenever it comes to like Ken's shield pressure. But essentially, with Ken's shield pressure, if you optimally know the numbers, you know your frame data, you can pretty much set up your shield pressure. You can set up your shield pressure. I'm sorry. He's
just kind of godlike, yo.
Just kind of.
So, like, pretty much when it comes to setting up Ken's shield pressure is like you can cover any option your opponent has if you know what that option is. Let's use Palutena for example. If I do down tilt crescent kick, it's -7. Her fastest option is nair at a shield, which with jump squat, it's frame 8. I can proximity heavy jab, and it'll hit her every single time she jumps. If she holds shield, I get to hit her shield, and I get to break it with a true block string. You can't say that kind of stuff about Terry yet. So if he develops to have that kind of coverage on block, like, he's going to be absolutely insane. But he's already insane because he has option coverage in other ways. Like, you know, even if you do jump out, I'm a crack shoot and I'm going to be safe anyways. And if you don't do anything, I'm going to shield poke you and still hit you. Like, for example, that block string I showed you, let me show you again. Ikechi hold shield.
Okay.
This one right here, on smaller characters, you can legit just forward tilt and crack shoot and it'll shield poke every time. Like Pikachu, all them forward tilt crack shoot, it'll shield poke.
Oh my god!
Like, this character has like guaranteed shield pokes and shield. I don't know about shield breaks yet. Probably like frame traps, but
yeah, nothing's true that I've seen yet. Everything I've found has been like a setup. It's like if they hold shield for a second hit, then they lose their shield. Nothing. It's like they held shield, now they're trapped in shield from hit stun, and there's nothing they can do. I haven't seen that yet.
Another thing they gave him is stagger mix-ups. Like, can you hold shield again for me?
Sure.
Like, you can do down tilt jab 1, down tilt jab 1, go into jab 2, and like just sit there and mix them up. And if they drop shield, and they drop shield in the middle of that, they're getting hit.
Yeah,
so,
I do that all the time because what's it called? Power dunk will clip them like after like the first cycle of that. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So like, if you know when you can start setting up pokes and breaks, it puts so much fear in your opponent. And because all of his stuff does so much shield damage, like once you do a certain amount of shield damage, which I think this is gonna be later on in the meta, people are gonna have to start paying attention to how much shield damage they put on, because if they see him hold shield, they can just go for heavy burn knuckle and get a shield break. Like, I don't know, man. I see a lot of different ways for this character's meta to go, but it's really gonna come down to the players playing him.
Oh, absolutely.
So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Like, right now, I'm enjoying seeing what Riddles is doing. I haven't seen Locust do anything yet. Didn't see him really do anything with Ken. We'll have to see, like, if he actually like sticks it out for like the entire month, or if he's just like riding the wave.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. And that's the thing. It's like, even for myself too. Like, I haven't been competing at all in the last couple of months because I've been just like trying to grind. But this is a character that I would actually consider using in tournament. I know you guys already are, but like for me, like this is so not my style compared to what I normally play, but I still like it a lot and I'm willing to learn it. That's why I'm trying to, like, I'm putting out these videos every single day for the month for the content, but also to teach myself so I can learn everything and try and catch up to you guys as well.
I think that's smart, man. To be honest, like when I was making the guides, like the Ken guides, I realized that me as a player got way better because I was cementing it in my mind when I was making it, because I was thinking about it more.
Man, you've internalized it, you've verbalized it, you're not trying to teach it to convey to somebody else, so you have to know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like on top of that, I do sub lessons. Like pretty much what I do is like if you're a first time sub, I do an hour training session with you, and I pretty much break you down as a player, and I pretty much help you with what you need. Or, like you pretty much bring what you want to me, and then after that, it's like $10 an hour, like $10 an hour or something like that. And people eat that up. And one of my first students who did that was Nito, and he's like a top player in North Carolina, right? Not North Carolina. What was it? SoCal.
Right on.
I have to one up Ronin on that real quick. I did Ronin sub lesson one time, guys.
Yeah.
Did a sub lesson one time. Pulled up to the next tournament, and I beat my bracket demon and took first. All right, and
Cool.
my bracket demon is a potential ranked player in Georgia. Everybody's got their eyes on him.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal. All right, like when you go to somebody, especially if you want to pick up like Ken or Terry, I really trust Ronin for sure because he knows what he's talking about. And if they know what they're talking about, you can apply what you're learning from them and what you've learned and come up with crazy things. Like homie that I fought in bracket could not shield at ledge against me, and he was mad about it because he was like, yo, I can't shield at ledge, and I'm like, yeah, you sure can. Like, yeah, try something. It's dude, when you find out crazy new things about your character, like it just becomes ridiculous and hard to beat them in bracket. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel because we're almost there to 10K, right? And if you guys love JoJo geek stuff, like anime stuff where I bring JoJo into Smash, like I said earlier with my amiibo stuff, check that out. I like to also tell stories about, you know, like Alfred did with Story for Glory. I like to tell stories like that on my channel as well. So my channel is not as technical as Ronin's, but I do like to be more so at the very extreme entertainment side, which probably might kill me, but like
nah, dude, you're killing it, bro. You're killing it.
Yeah, but yeah, it's mad fun. And then another thing is join my Discord, bro. That junk is way. If you want to get better at Smash, bro, join my Discord. Everybody there's getting better, and it's kind of hard for me to actually walk in there and want to fight them because now I actually have to watch out and put my headphones on and play for real. So go check those two things out, man. Everything's in the description for my channel, so go ahead.
Right on.
Okay, for me, pretty much the same thing, man. Check me out at RoninX1819, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I've got more guides on the way, more Terry stuff. I've got a couple videos I've got booked for Terry coming up very, very soon. If you want to catch me live, play with me, anything like that, I'm always on Twitch. I stream Monday through Friday, like 6 through 9 Eastern time. So if you want to catch me then, you can definitely do it then. Another thing is, wait, never mind. I just lost it.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah. If you want to work out a time, like if you want to like get a sub lesson in with me sometime, make sure to shoot me a message on Twitter. My DMs are open. So
please get a sub lesson from Ronin. I highly suggest everybody do that if you're going to pick up Terry, bro, or Ken or Reed, bro. Please, it's so good.
Yep, that's pretty much it, man. Thanks for having me, Trixx.
Yeah, appreciate you guys coming through. This is it's been something. I've learned a ton already. Like not even just about Terry, about Ken, mentality, just setups, so much. So hopefully everybody else that's been watching all this stuff and how this all unfolded has got a lot of good value out of this as well. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it, guys. Really appreciate you guys' time.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Yeah, thanks,
no problem
bro.
at all. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
Thank you.